Hey, what's up guys, Jay here and welcome back to the 15th episode of the My Team Career Mode series on F123 for the Mexican GP, obviously in Mexico, and after a surprisingly good American GP last time out, where we went from 7th, I think it was. We went from 9th to 7th because of a late safety car, and there was only 3 laps remaining of the race, and that's probably the most drama we've had for quite a long time. But apart from that, it was a good race. If you've not seen the video, I would highly recommend going and seeing it. Yes, I just told you where we finished, but it took a long way to get there, and we did pull off an absolutely incredible performance from where we qualified. Spoilers alert, if you want to go and see that, click off the video now, go and watch that and come back. But spoilers alert, we did start at the back of the grid and we ended up finishing 7th, which is a remarkable recovery. Just shows that we do have some racecraft and the car does have some pace to get us up there. But practice 1 and practice 2 have been okay so far in this, but what we did learn was that our fight is definitely with the McLaren and Alpines. It was really hard to keep Mr. Fernando Alonso, Lando Norris, Pierre Gasly and Esteban Ocon behind us. We ended up keeping them behind us, but it was quite a difficult challenge to do so. Our teammate once again finished outside of the points, and we've had 2 different teammates so far this season, and none of them have performed the way we have. I think Oscar's only scored 9 points so far for the team, which in the half season that he's been here, I have to give it to him, as 9 points. But us getting 5 points near enough every weekend, maybe we just have to look at a different scenario. But we'll see how the next couple of races go, but we'll have to see how this one goes first. Mexico, one of my more favourite tracks on the game. I feel at home in a drive at Mexico, even though it's nowhere near home. But I do feel that I can navigate the circuit pretty well and get a good lap time out of any car that I'm driving around Mexico. But we will obviously look to continue our point streak since America last race out. We've scored points, which would be the case if I scored points in America and that was the last race. But we did crash out in Qatar, which was not our fault. Lando Norris decided it would be a fun idea to lock up behind us and crash me out, hit my rear tyre and sending me into the gravel trap and essentially sending me into the shadow realm. But we're going to try and put that behind us, as that was 2 races ago, and try and focus on Mexico now and try and get the best race that we can. Not the best alliance through there, I have to say, but George Russell and Max Verstappen are the top 2 in the championship, and that one's going to be a very interesting thing to develop. 4 points separate them, and we've only got 4 races left in this calendar, and that's including this race, so you'll never know. And one of them races includes the sprint race, and that's next time out in Sao Paulo for the Brazilian Grand Prix. But we don't have to focus on that right now. We just have to focus on trying to get a good lap time again, getting a rubbish line, and that's my lap ruined. Yep, that's my lap ruined. That we kick out of the rear end has ruined my lap. And what is the lap time going to be? Even it's going to be 20 seconds. 3 seconds off a lapper. Not a good first lap at all. Second lap, we're just up on our time as we go on the rundown into turn 1, the longest straight, I am pretty sure, longest main straight in the F1 calendar. But this year, longest straight has been snatched by the Vegas Strip, which is absolutely massive. Personal best sector 1, we're about 3/10 up on our time, getting a better line through that wee mini chicane there as we go through what I call the horseshoe section, which is more about a hairpin if you think about it. 6/10 up on our time, doing pretty well on this lap. 7/10 up on our time as we go through the S is probably my least favorite part of this track, but apart from that it's okay. But we go off track quite a wee bit there. Nick de Vries is still in F1 in our alternate timeline anyways, as Mr. Daniel Ricciardo has not been promoted back up, over 2.79, 3 seconds up on our time. Are we going to be able to get through into Q2? Can we maybe just squeeze past? No, we can't. It's 19th, and if we come across the line on that lap, 19th is going to be it. 22nd, we will start the race in Mexico in 20 seconds. After I said it's probably one of my favourite tracks, and it's the track I can pull the most time out of. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Max Verstappen tops Q1 with Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez, and Max might be back on for a maybe streak in the last few races to snatch that championship back from George Russell, maybe close it up by Sao Paulo, but you never know. As we decide to take a whole new engine. Yes, it might be risky, but I decide to take a whole new engine for the remaining 4 episodes. Looking at it in hindsight, it might have been better to replace the engine just before Abu Dhabi and replace it in Vegas, because that's a track where you can make up some good amount of time on the straight. But we do take a whole new engine as we go to the race.
Season-ending race, a party of motor racing. Well, we might not host the finale now, but Mexico hosts a party nonetheless. So welcome to the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez for the Mexico City Grand Prix. At 2,285 metres above sea level, the thin air of the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez poses a unique challenge, not just to a driver's skill, but to the efficiency of their engines as well. 17 corners then make a lap of this 2.6-mile circuit. Expect incredible speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour and overtaking into the braking zones of Turn 1 and Turn 4. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Perez, Hamilton, Russell, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Tsunoda, Gasly, Hulkenberg, Bottas, Joe, Stroll, Iwasa, Sargent, De Vries, Oscar Piastri, Albon, Magnussen and Iceman. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. Anthony Davidson is alongside me as...
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Lining up on the grid now for the Mexican GP, and hopefully we can continue our point scoring race. There's 4 lights, there's 5 lights, and it is lights out, and away we go. It's a good start for me, but it's also a good start for Kevin Magnussen and Alexander Albon. Kevin Magnussen's held up by Oscar Piastri, so is Alexander Albon. Our teammates just getting in the way of everybody. We're going to switch sides, we're going to go from left to right, and we're going to go right down the middle as there's a massive gap opening. We avoid contact with like 3 different drivers as we go through there, from P22 all the way up into P10 in a matter of seconds. We're up into P9 by the time we exit turn 3. What a rocket ship start for myself. A gap just opened up fully down that inside line, and there was no way I'm going to look at that and decide to sit back like a grandma. Wow, what a start. We are up into P9 from P22 right at the start of the race, and hopefully we can continue pushing on forward and maybe get in the top 5 of this race. But we go a wee bit wide there, taking you enough exactly in line we did through qualifying as we go wide. Here comes Fernando Alonso. He's going to try round the outside. He's going to try the hard way. We make it a bit harder, squeezing him to the outside. can't make the move, and we keep 9th place on the opening lap of this race, trying to keep up with Lando Norris and Nico Hülkenberg, who is riding high in 7th place. There goes Fernando Alonso, tries to get past me, does not work as we go down the straight now. If ERS is not going to get past me, and we are going to be safe on lap 1 of this race. But as we go on to lap 2 into turn 1, Pierre Gasly cannot catch us, neither can Fernando Alonso, and we keep 9th place on lap 2 of this race. Now on lap 4 we've got DRS on the cars in front. It's a massive fight, 4 cars up in front. How many can we overtake? We're going to overtake Hülkenberg as we get past him. And now can we try and get the run on Lando Norris round the outside? Not going to work, we're just a wee bit too far back. We do pass Nico Hülkenberg, which is good, and we're up into 8th place, setting a personal best, sector 1, which is good for this car as we've discovered the pace does kind of drop off after a while. But we are going to try the inside line on lap 5 of this race, trying to overtake both drivers, Esteban Ocon and Lando Norris. We get the move done on both of them, just keeping it with the track limits. And then we're going to try and chase down Carlos Sainz on lap 5 of this race, and we are up into the top 6. And this is unbelievable pace here in Mexico. Yes, we have a whole new engine, but it is still unbelievable pace. But on lap 6 of this race now, here comes Nico Hülkenberg. He's going to try the outside line. It is not going to work. We're just going to try the inside line, but keep the inside line, but it does not work. We have a wee bit of a squirm. Nico Hülkenberg gets past us, and now we're going to have DRS on him. As I've just thought about it, we're going to have DRS on Nico Hülkenberg going down into turn 1, and hopefully we can get past him to go on the run down into turn 1 now. DRS is about to be on. DRS is on. DRS is being deployed. So is DRS activated. We're going to breeze past Nico Hülkenberg before the braking zone, get out in front of him, keep the inside line, and defend going down into turn 1. And we keep 6th place going down into turn 1. So no, take it back off of Nico Hülkenberg going down into turn 1. And now can we maybe just try and push forward on the soft tyres and go faster than Carlos Sainz, which is a bit unrealistic, and get past him. But Nico Hülkenberg gets past us the same way. Yuki Tsunoda is out, and that's 2 races in a row where he's had a DNF. That's not good for his feet at AlphaTauri. Nico Hülkenberg is flying off in the distance, just keeping him within a second as he's bridged that now. But here comes Lando Norris, trying to get the run on me. It does not work. Going down into turn 1 now, pitting on lap 11. Here comes Lando Norris, he's going to try and go right round the outside. We're going to keep the inside line, keeping 7th place here in the race. And that is good for our race. But with DRS again, Lando Norris is going to chase afterwards as we go down the straight now. He isn't going to be able to overtake us as we on the run as we go past turn 4 now, and now into turn 5 he won't be able to get past us, and we do keep 7th place on lap 9 of this race against Lando Norris. Now on the run down into turn 1, speaking of Lando Norris, Pierre Gasly's going to try and join in as well. It's 3 wide into turn 1. We go right up the middle of Pierre Gasly, and Lando Norris has been overtaken by Esteban Ocon, and that will be good for the Alpines in the Constructors' Championship. But Lando Norris fights back, and he's back up into P9. Pierre Gasly's going to try the outside line, going into near enough 90 degree. It does not work. We shut him off as we're in the pits on lap 12 of this race, and hopefully we can get a good pit compared to what we did in Austin. What can we get? We're going to get a 2.4 second pit stop. We got a 2.5 second pit stop, a tenth quicker than we were in Austin. We do go all the way down into 15th. The first time I've seen my teammate this whole race, as he's up into 14th. Good going for him as he's started near the back as well on lap 1 of this race. And now on lap 12 we're going to try and get used to the medium set of tyres and hopefully just carry on our pace to try and catch up after all the pit stops, try and catch back up to where we were, and maybe we can get lucky and maybe get a safety car, and that can try and draw us closer to the top boys. But after everybody pits, we're back up into 7th. Esteban Ocon is still behind us. Nico Hülkenberg is in 6th chasing P5. Not actually anymore. He's about 10 seconds behind Mr. Carlos Sainz, Mr. Smooth Operator. But here comes Esteban Ocon down into turn 1. I'm going to try and shut him off. Down into turn 1, he is going to get the outside line. Into turn 1, he is going to try and hold it. I'm going to try and stick with him as much as we can to go for the second part as he spins. He spins on the curb, almost taking me out with him. I almost avoided a near race ending incident. There's red flags. There is red flags in Mexico on lap 15. And this changes the whole dynamic of the race. The whole thing changes from now. Soft compound tyres for the last 6 laps. Sorry. Yeah, last 9 laps, sorry. Of this race. Wow. This changes literally everything can do with this race. We could get in the podium positions if we get a good start. It'll be hard to hang on to it, but we could. We're just going to need to get a really, really good start to try and compete with everybody. I still cannot believe there's red flags on lap 15, sorry, of this race. We're zooming on lap 17, and there's only 6 laps. Sorry, 9 laps. Why did I keep on saying 6? Only 9 laps remaining of this race. Let's go to the grid. 1 light, 2 lights, 3, 4 and 5, and it is lights out and away we go. It's a perfect start for myself. Near enough, as soon as the lights go out, I'm off into P3. Right off the grid before we even get down to turn 1, I'm up into P3. Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton battling into turn 1. Can we maybe go up the inside of both of them? Can we maybe just get up into second, down the inside of both of them, round the outside and down the inside line? We make contact with Lewis Hamilton, who is turning in on us on the run down, into turn 4. Can we maybe compete for P2? We're going to try right round the outside of Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. We get past both of them off into P1. We're up into P1 at turn 4. Wow. We might have a chance of winning this. I know it might sound optimistic, but we do. We might have a chance of winning our first race in our My Team career mode. And we are on lap 17 of this race, and we don't have much longer to go in this race. Can I maybe just try and hold back Max Verstappen? No, I can't. He's going to try the outside line on the run down into the hairpin almost turn. We get him to the outside. We keep P1, and we're still in P1 by the end of lap 17. Absolutely flying on the safety car restart, going from P7 to P1, but this is where we're going to have to try our hardest to stay in front of Max Verstappen with the arrest. Down the main straight, he pulls out of the slipstream. He is going to try and get past me, but he pulls back into the slipstream. I wonder why he's done that. He's pulled back into the slipstream, trying to get the outside line. Does not work. It does work as I go tighter to the apex, try and get the best turn in. We do stay ahead of Max Verstappen on lap 1 of the race. Wow. Lap 18 of the race, sorry, not lap 1. We're P1 on lap 18 of this race. Can we maybe try and hold on to this? And if we can, wow. But on lap 19 of this race now, going on at 2:20, here comes Max Verstappen down the main straight again. He's pushing me down the main straight, staying on my gearbox. Down into turn 1 we go. Max Verstappen gets the outside line. I dive down the inside, getting past Max Verstappen once again, and we are back up into P1 on lap 20 of this race, and hopefully we can just keep this position and maybe, again, sounds really optimistic, but maybe, just maybe, keep P1 and win this race. Nico Hulkenberg is chasing down Lewis Hamilton for maybe his first podium in Formula 1, as he's been chasing that dream for years. Absolutely years. He's came close to it so many times, but never actually tasted that success. But on the run down the main straight, Max Verstappen gets a good run on me with DRS on lap 21. Down into turn 1, he gets past me, but can we maybe do the exact same thing? We pull out from behind Max Verstappen, we dive down the inside, get back up into P1 On lap 21, Max Verstappen goes down into P3. Lewis Hamilton goes up into P2, and now we're going to have to try and stay in front of Lewis Hamilton. This is not the first time Lewis Hamilton has tried to deny someone of the first race victory. Max Verstappen just keeps on tumbling down 10th to Nico Hülkenberg. Can he maybe get his first podium in Formula 1, and can we maybe get our first win in Formula 1? And if we can, then that would be absolutely insane. On lap 22, here comes Lewis Hamilton down the main straight. He's going to do exactly what Max Verstappen did. Nico Hülkenberg is up into the podium positions for the first time, and for the first time he might have a chance of a podium, and it might look pretty secure as Max Verstappen's down into 5th as he's battling with Charles Leclerc through the first 3 turns. Max is down into 5th from leading this race. He's had an absolute mare. He's down into 6th. This is not good for his championship fight, but it's also not good for George Russell's championship fight as he's down in like 15th. And the 2 main titles in this championship are not having a good day, but we are having an absolutely spectacular day, keeping Lewis Hamilton behind us. Now on lap 23, on the run down into turn 1, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to keep the inside line, pushing Lewis Hamilton to the outside, keeping the inside line, getting past Lewis Hamilton once again, and we are back up into the first position on lap 23 of this race. And it's looking more and more realistic that we might go on to win this race to get our first win in Formula 1 in our first season of Formula 1. Now on the last lap of this race, here comes Lewis Hamilton down the main straight into turn 1. We go. Lewis Hamilton to the outside line in the braking zone of turn 1. We have the inside line. Getting past Lewis Hamilton, he is going to try and fight with us though. Does not work. We keep first position as we go to the second DRS straight. Here we go. Lewis Hamilton's got DRS on me. Nico Hülkenberg's got DRS on Lewis Hamilton. The top 3 are separated by 5/10, less than a second. Nico Hülkenberg in that Aston Martin that's been brought to life this weekend. But the fireworks are going off as we round the stadium section of the lap, round the final braking zone, round the final turn. The checkered flag falls. We win the Mexican GP in our first season of Formula 1. What a race!
It was today, Ants, that gave them the edge over the competition.
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Here comes your top 3 making their way down to the podium for what can only be described as a fantastic day for Formula 1. Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance.
What a race. So Wasser gets up into the points in that Williams. Max Verstappen goes all the way down into 9th by the end of the race. From P1 he goes to 9th. From P7 we go to 1st. What a race. George Russell doesn't get any points. That is going to be massive for Max Verstappen in the championship. He gets 3 points from 4 points behind. Max Verstappen goes up to 7 points. Nico Hülkenberg gets 3rd place. Lewis Hamilton gets 2nd place in Mexico. But the main headline is we get 1st place in our first race, going up into 9th in the driver's standings. I wonder where that got us in the constructors as well. But what a race. What a race. And hopefully Brazil is as good as our Mexican GP was. And maybe this is the start of the dominance of JS9 Racing. I might be getting a bit too ahead of myself here. I usually do that. But there's no harm in dreaming. But I do hope you enjoyed that race. I certainly did. leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you next time for the Brazilian GP in Sao Paulo next time out, and hopefully we can get another win. And as I said, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.